Hey, Dick, I really am glad you could come over and watch the playback, man.
Yeah,
Wasn't that a game last night?
that was awesome. Yeah.
It really was. I think they're back. It's going to take a little while, but, everybody stayed around to the fourth quarter. And, of course, that was a traffic problem.
Yeah.
We didn't get out of there until way after midnight.
Yeah,
It was hard to get up to go to church this morning, to be honest with you.
I'm sure it was. I didn't quite have that problem. I had a late tea time, so I didn't have to worry about church, but glad you made it on time.
Yeah, I've kind of been meaning to ask you about that. I don't want to pry, but, we've known each other a long time. And Susan and I and the kids, we just really couldn't imagine life without being involved at Concord United Methodist or another church. I noticed that, you guys don't go to church. What's up with that?
Well, it's not like I've never been to church. I've been to a lot of churches over the years, but I think it's been like one bad experience after the next. I think one of the things I've found is that so many of these churches are just full of hypocrites. You go in there and they're all nice to you, they're blessing you, they're greeting you and all this sort of stuff. They're saying the right verses, they're following along in the Bible. They go home, these are the same people that are drinking and talking about people and gossiping, and it's just a bunch of hypocrites to me. I think the other thing that has bothered me over time is the preachers. I've never really found a preacher I could relate to. It seems like they're all sort of cut from the same cloth, if you will. They're up there, they're talking these sermons, they're talking things I don't understand, they're talking these Bible verses they don't explain, and frankly, I just can't relate to them. I find myself sitting in my pew saying, what am I even doing here? I don't belong.
We had kind of a similar experience before we got to Concord. But I guess, what they say, most any church you go to is not going to be a show place for saintly behavior, but it's going to be kind of a spiritual rehab center for all the rest of us that need it. But I really do believe that Concord, the people that we've met at Concord, do try to walk the walk. We have had so many different projects where you see people motivated by what they believe. Habitat for Humanity houses, we've had a dozen or so of those. We've got all kinds of other programs, everything from kids and youth to older citizens. There's something that people can get involved with at every stage. The other thing about ministers, I've been to some places where the preacher's talking down to you or over you, I understand that. But we're fortunate at Concord to have in both our traditional service and our contemporary service people that really can get the message across and address the concerns that I've got. I think you'd really, really enjoy that. And once you go to Concord, you'll want to come back.
Well, I'll tell you what, David, I have a lot of respect for you, and if you're that passionate about it, there must be something to this. I'll give it a try. I'd love to go with you.
How about if Susan and I and the kids come after you and the family next Sunday? Doesn't have to be the 8:30 service. We have one at 11, and so maybe we can go there and we can show you around. The kids can show your kids around, and after we can all have lunch.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.